This month's team brief comes from Wigan Mortuary, obviously one of the most important and sensitive departments in the entire trust, and the staff here know very much exactly what they have to do to be as sensitive to the needs of families as possible. I'm going to be meeting the mortuary manager, Kath Robinson, later on, and as usual I'm going to ask her 3 questions. How many mortuary fridges are there at our 2 mortuaries? Which member of the staff dressed up as Keith Lemon at the mortuary Christmas party? And what are the strange hobbies of Elaine McCormick? This month's corporate objective has the very appropriate theme of forward thinking, and this is our IT objective, because we have now made the decision to install a brand new electronic patient record system. We've selected a partner called Allscripts, the Trust Board has approved the business case, and this very exciting project gets underway in summer of this year. This is the very carefully designed area for the relatives of the deceased, so they can either stay in this anteroom and look at the deceased through the window here, or they can come in if they choose as part of the process of identification. Now, as usual, I'm going to start with talking about our main measures of safety. So on infections, we had no cases of MRSA, 3 of C. diff and 1 each of MSSA and E. coli. But the really excellent news is that our latest mortality figure for February, which you can now see on this chart, is 70.5, and that takes the average for the year to 86.3. You can see on the chart that the 70.5 is the lowest mortality rate we've ever had for any month. Moving on to serious harms, I've already talked about the 5 serious infections. We had no never events, 3 pressure ulcers, 1 serious fall, and no cases of ventilator-acquired pneumonia or central line infection. So that gives us a total of 9 for the month, an improvement on the previous month when it was 12. I'm now moving into the area which is for staff and undertakers only, because this is where we store the bodies in the very large fridges. So let me talk now about our main measures of effectiveness, and as everybody knows, the Trust has been having a very difficult time in its unscheduled care system. So you can see from this league table of A&E that we are 3rd from bottom this month, whereas normally we've been at or close to the top. Now, I think there are signs of a recovery happening, and I'm confident that by the end of the year we'll be back to our customary position. It's been a reasonable start to the year for finances, with a surplus just behind budget by £100,000. Income was £200,000 over budget and expenditure was £300,000 over budget, and the CIP achievement was £100,000 better than expected at this stage of the year. We've spent nearly £1 million already on capital expenditure, and all of this gives us a satisfactory financial risk rating of 3. Now to Healthier Together, and at the time of recording this podcast, it seems almost certain that there will be a public consultation starting at the end of June, and indeed we're already seeing some pre-releases in the media about that consultation. Now, WWL will be expressing serious concerns about the proposals of certain aspects of Healthier Together, particularly that it will result in a 2-tier service where patients in Wigan might get a less good treatment than elsewhere, and that under some circumstances, patients in Wigan will be put at enhanced risk as a result of these proposals. We'll be expanding on these views at great length during the consultation. And now we're in the area where the Trust conducts 650 post-mortems per year on these 4 tables. I want to tell you about 2 very important service and site developments. Firstly, we've started plans to move parts of the outpatient clinics at Lee into the Lee Health Centre. Now, this is a £300,000 project which is due to complete later on this year. We've also had the groundbreaking ceremony at Wrightington for phase 1 there. This took place on the 28th of May and building has now started. The works are due to finish by November 2015, with patients first moving into the facilities in February 2016. We've had our latest results from the quarterly staff engagement pulse checks, with a good response rate of 37.3% and 81.3% of scores were positive, with 78% of staff recommending the Trust to friends and family. We will continue to do this every quarter and hope to continue to improve those scores. Now, one thing of great concern that has come out through the staff survey is that 4% of staff reported experiencing physical violence from work colleagues. Now, this is more than we are aware of officially, So we strongly encourage you, if something like this does happen, to speak out. We've got a Dignity at Work policy which is available on the intranet, but you can also contact HR, and you can see here the contact details that are available to you. But please do report any incidents of this nature. The Trust continues to be recognised in many ways for its achievements. The most recent ones include Continence Care, where we have won the Team of the Year award at an inaugural event. Also, consultant Jenny Davis was given a nomination for Outstanding Clinical Leadership in this area. In Clinical Excellence Awards, this year they have just been announced, and there were just 5 awards for orthopaedics in the entire country, and 3 of those came to Wrightington. Professor Kay got a Gold Award, Professor Morali got a Silver Award, and Mr Clayson got a Bronze Award. So that really is an outstanding achievement. And to add to that, our audiology service has achieved accreditation by the Royal College of Physicians, so more achievements in audiology as well. Finally, our Employee of the Month is Sue Fowler, who is a specialist urology nurse working at the Hanover Building at Lee. The Hanover Building itself has achieved many awards for creating a new one-stop shop, which Sue has been instrumental in setting up. So many congratulations to Sue Fowler, Employee of the Month. Here I am with Kath Robinson, who's worked for the Trust for 20 years, and she's now the manager of all of our mortuary services. So Kath, what are the main functions of the mortuary?
The main functions of the mortuary are to provide a temporary storage facility for deceased patients, to carry out postmortems, identifications, and offer a service to bereaved relatives to come and see the loved ones.
I see. And what are the main problems and pressures that you face?
The main pressures and problems we face is because we cover bereavement as well. The bereavement service is only a small unit, and in an ideal world we would like to provide a full service, including an on-site registrar, so we can offer the full package. The other problem we face is people seem to think once a person's died, that the responsibility stopped. But that still continues until they've actually received a death certificate. So we do need people to be made aware that it needs to be done. We only get one chance to get this right, so doing it as soon as possible relieves a lot of pressure on the families.
And what are you most proud of here?
It's the team of people what work here. They offer a dedicated service, giving good support to bereaved families to make the journey through this process a lot smoother.
And is there any other story that you want to tell us of something that's happened here?
My personal experience of working in the mortuary was I dealt with a family who had a stillborn son, and eventually they came to have a live little girl, and they come to let me know that, you know, they'd achieved this. So that was really personal to me.
What a great story. Now let me take you to the 3 quiz questions. So first of all, how many fridges does the Trust have?
There's 88 in total, 48 at Wigan, 40 at Lee, and a development of 3 bariatric fridges to go to Lee.
And secondly, which member of mortuary staff at the Christmas party was dressed up as Keith Lemon?
That was Matthew Gormally.
And finally, what are the slightly unusual hobbies of Elaine McCormick?
She normally takes in stray animals, and she's just recently taken up beekeeping.